I want to record a podcast right now. My camera is working. This is going to be the shortest podcast. This is going to be like, I'm not even going to have this official number. This is going to be like episode whatever, 0.5. My camera broke. I don't know why it's working right now, but it's broken as far as I know. I think maybe my dog peed on it, and then maybe the pee dried, and then it started turning on again. But I tried earlier, and it broke again. And so I don't know how long this is going to be or what's going to happen. Let me get rid of that noise. Come on, I'm learning, but it's blurry. The autofocus noise is so awful. That's like something I think is, from all the podcasts, probably the biggest error is the autofocus. But you're doing it by yourself. Sometimes there's errors. You don't have a person watching the monitors. Anyway, things are going really well. My album I'm making right now is called Music Magic Mischief Mayhem. It's a 3-volume album. It's 3 albums long. Volume 1 is like more than 75% mixed, I would say. There's a little bit of stuff to do on it, but I got to listen to the mixes last night. That was awesome. So I'm on schedule. I have my show on Holland Project the 15th, which doesn't matter. By the time you're listening to this, the show will have already happened. But this is really just about my life and what's going on in it. I want to call my friend Sean Brown, and have like the podcast, because the reason I don't want to call this an official one, because the last podcast. Oh, you know what? This will be. Fuck it. So the next 3 podcasts, I've already recorded one, but I'll put this out before it. But it's with Byron Stout. It's really fun. It's probably my favorite one I've done so far. No offense to anyone who's been on the podcast, but it's just fun. He was funny. And also I'm just learning the podcast, learning about how this goes and things like that. So I really do want to do kind of my own variety show. And that's eventually what I would like this to be. But this episode right here is just going to be a special little treat. I mean, I'm excited that this is working right now. I don't know how long this is going to work. I'm going to buy a new camera tomorrow anyways, because, I haven't been able to record, and I really wanted to. And I just really want to keep up with my podcast because, I don't know, even last year, it's so funny thinking about the first one that I recorded and just the stuff I was doing. I wasn't reading books. I wasn't meditating. There's all these things that I'm doing now that I'm very excited about, and I think are kind of a result of the podcast and the influence it's had on me. I've got my merch coming too soon, so there will be merch on the JohnWhites.com, HereHereRecords.com. You'll actually be able to start buying stuff. Eventually, I'll have merch for this podcast, but I want to probably wait until then next month when I'll finally actually start promoting it and telling people online, because, it's just been one of those things. I wasn't very comfortable with who I was a year ago, and not that I'm like super comfortable or confident now, but I feel way better, and I just feel like, I feel less whiny than I was. I feel like that was like the number one thing I saw in the early episodes, is I was just so whiny, and I don't want to be whiny, and now I'm whining about whining. Whatever. So let's, I've been buying comics, got my Grant Morrison collections going really well, been doing a lot of stuff, paid for the mastering, paid for the mixing. I'm just like, I used to be so stressed out. I don't know if that's why I went bald. I mean, I think it's a genetic thing, but I've been feeling really good, man. I used to be really stressed out, and the meditating, the working out, all this stuff, it's, it takes a long time to incorporate and to start actually feeling the benefits and seeing the benefits. I was about to be like, let's just take a look. I don't think I'm in great shape, but I'm in way better shape than I was when I started the podcast a year ago, and I'm in either the second or best shape of my life. Yeah, pretty much. And it's exciting, not in a vain way, but just I feel the best. And it's fun to run around. And like today I was at the grocery store and I bought groceries. Like as I was walking in, whatever, I got groceries and I was going to get a lift home, but instead I just walked home with the groceries, and this really beautiful woman like stopped and was like, "Do you need a ride?" And I was just like, Jeffrey Dahmer was handsome too. Stay on the street. And so I just walked home. But then I was like, what if she's my soulmate? What if I was supposed to meet this chick and have like this cool conversation on the ride home? And then I was supposed to be like, oh, is this such a weird way of meeting? Like, because I was carrying groceries. She said she felt bad, but I just didn't want the ride. I don't know why. I mean, I was listening to a podcast too, but it was one of those things too where it's funny. I was like, what if she was like someone I was supposed to meet? I don't know. What if she was my soulmate? I don't know. Where'd the cheese go? I don't know. Where'd the cheese go? I don't know. That's a fucking Ween song. They did a song for like Domino's or for Pizza Hut. They did like a jingle for one of those companies, and anyways, it's really funny. It's called Where'd the Cheese Go? Speaking of music, I am going to sing you some songs right now because I can. I mean, I've got a shawarma that's wrapped in tinfoil that's probably, I spent $14 or so on it, and that's a lot of money on a meal for me right now. It's just a lot of money to spend on a meal. It's cold, and it's getting colder as I play this music, but I don't care because I'm just excited. I've been really wanting to record podcasts. I mean, I want to keep up with this, so I'm going to buy a new camera. Hopefully this will just work. We'll get some out, and then I'll be able to record. Hey there, everybody in the World Wide Web. Welcome to my podcast. Music, movies, comedy, and eating snacks and comic books. Welcome to my podcast. Welcome to my podcast. Welcome to my podcast. So if you're a fan of this podcast, you know I love Indian women. You know I love having sex. You know I love these things. And I got laid. Oh, I haven't been laid in a while, and that is something that bugs me sometimes. I got laid last weekend, and one night I got 2 hours of sleep, and then I got laid the other day, the same lady, and then I got 4 hours of sleep, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I can do this anymore. I'm not 20 fucking 4 like she is. I mean, she's 20 fucking 6, but I need to get at least 6 fucking hours of sleep for me. I was like spelling my name wrong on my email. I was putting my email address wrong in the email, and that's fucking means that I wasn't fucking mentally as cute as I wanna be. Even though this girl was cute, she's not the one for me. Oh, that's so mean. She's really cool, but she just likes to party. She can handle that shit. I can't fucking do a fucking 2 hour night sleep. She just like bounces up like nothing's going on. I'm like so just tired and all day thinking about going to sleep. But I figured out that if you take a nap too early, it's better just to wait until you gotta sleep and try to go to bed a little bit earlier than normal. If you take an early nap, it can fuck up your sleep schedule even fucking more. It can fuck up your sleep schedule even more, and that ain't no fucking fun when you only get 4 hours of sleep. So it was cool. It was great to get laid. She was a quarter Indian. Not that that matters, but it does for me. It was awesome. It was funny because I'm always like, you know what? I'm just done. It's so hard to date Indian chicks in this town, and if I want to date an Indian chick, I should move to fucking India or like somewhere where there's like a bigger population than in Reno. But whatever. I was just like, forget about it. Who cares, man? Like, if she's blonde, if she's just like women. They're all beautiful. Don't try to have like personality and all these fucking standards you need plus be Indian. That's a little bit of a fucking high stretch. But anyway, so I asked this girl out. Well, she's a friend of a friend. I saw her at a bar. The next day I thought of her. I laughed a couple times. I smiled thinking of her, and I asked my friend, I was like, what's up with your friend? Is she cool? And she's like, yeah, she's cool. Do you want me to see if she gave her number? I was like, yeah, of course I want her number. I didn't say that exactly, but I said yes. She gave me her number. I asked her out. She said yes. We hung out. We went to a fucking concert. We saw Chubby Checkers. He's like 79 years old, and he's still fucking rocking. And he's fucking doing his thing. And he's a sexy man. And he's fucking loves the lady still. And, it was really good. Anyway, so we went on a date. We had fun. It was a really good time. And yeah, that's that. We had fun. It was a good time. But then I went on a date with another girl this afternoon. I went and got a coffee, and I can't believe how pretty she was. They're both so beautiful, but this girl was blonde, and I've never been on a date with a blonde before because blondes aren't really my type. Indians and blondes are like opposite of the spectrum, but you know what? She was gorgeous, and she made me feel like home. She made me feel like home. She made me feel like red, red, when you make me feel so fine. Red, red, when you make me, Lordy Lord. But anyway, it's crazy to go on this date with this girl. She's blonde, and I've never really gone on a date with a blonde girl. Like, one time I kissed a blonde, but she's like this girl I've known since elementary school, and we were just hanging out, and we just made out once. But, like, it wasn't like I pursued a blonde ever. I always had a thing against blondes. But now I love blondes. It was like, there was this whole population of women that I could, like, finally have, like just normal conversations and not be thinking, oh, she's so pretty, they're so pretty. And I could always, like, treat blondes somewhat similar to the way I treat guys. And the way you interact. It's hard when you're super attracted to someone. Your heart's like racing. It's hard to fucking act normal. It's like being around a famous person. You know, like Neil Brennan has a great joke on Three Mics, his new special about it. Anyway. Blondes, I could just talk to them normal. And then, and now I still can. I admit, but it's sort of like, I'm attracted to them. Damn it. Now they're like part of the wheelhouse. Whatever. The more the merrier, right? I mean, I'm kind of, you know, I believe in love, and this chick, I don't know, I might have talked to her on the about her on the podcast before, because when I met her, she was talking about how her first relationship, she broke up with the guy over distance. Now she said she would never do that again because she like believed in love, and it was just cool to talk to someone who actually believed in love, because people don't fucking believe in love anymore. It's like a thing, it's too hard. It's like it requires you to self-sacrifice to be in a relationship which is bigger than yourself, and like our generation has a harder time doing that because we think of ourselves so much. I mean, I got a fucking podcast, I make music, I make movies all about myself. You know, not all, you know, I want to make people feel good, entertain people, and have fun, but like, I mean, I'm very like involved with myself all the time in my websites and all this stuff, and the band's called the John Whites, and it's just like, you know, but it was fun to talk to her, and it was funny because she told me about how she read this book about how guys love bitches, or how to be a bitch because guys love bitches, some book about like how to get boys, and then I talked to her about how I read the game, and I read the game, but it was funny to like have two people talking about how they read books about how they like I've tried to figure out how to manipulate the opposite gender, and it was fun to just really be honest, and I really felt like I was home with her, and she's 10 years younger than me, she's so young, and she's like a sorority girl, and she looks like a Southern belle, and it's just so weird. And but like I've already written a song about her, and that was my first date, and I didn't write a song about her before. I wrote a song about her before that. I've had many interactions with her because she comes into where I work, and we've talked and talked and talked, and I asked her out, and she's like, I'm not ready, but can I ask you out some other time when I'm ready? And I'm like, yes. But then she asked me out to coffee, but then she asked me out, whatever. Anyway, her name is, she's a beautiful lady. Obviously, I'm more into her than this other chick, right? I mean, you know, like she's physically like, you know, like the chick that's Indian, like physically like everything I've ever wanted, but she just wants to party so much, and I've already passed that time in my life. At least right now I feel like I really want to settle down, watch Netflix on the couch. It's really what I wanna do right now. It's what I wanna do right now. It's really what I wanna do right now. It's really what I do right now. Girl, you're beautiful, and I like the way you smile and the jokes you tell. But you're staying up all night and you're smoking cocaine like snow that fell on the ground, and I'm like, hey, I think you're really hot, but I gotta go to sleep cause I'm fucking 30 years old and I'm not fucking 25 anymore, and I care more than I used to when I was young about getting 8 hours in, taking vitamins. These are the kind of things that I do now, and it's kind of fucking weird, but it's just the way that it's just how it worked on out. It's how it worked on out. So I know we're kind of in two fucking lanes. I'll watch your butt as you speed ahead, and I'm gonna fucking take the slow route, cause it's how I'm fucking feeling right now. I'm I'm fucking feeling right now. It's how I'm fucking feeling right now. 15 minutes, let's keep it at that. Gonna go eat my shawarma, yeah. And then I'm gonna watch Arrow. And watching that show, every time that fucking guy's on screen, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's so fucking buff. He's so fucking buff, and he must work out like 3 hours a day. He's like, as buff as the guys in the movies. Good work, dude, on all the work that you do. Getting buff so that you can be a superhero in a TV show. And it's kind of freaking weird that he should just be the one that's in the movies. Actually, you know what, I'm glad they're sticking with the shows, because they're a long form, kind of like comic books, yo. You can do a lot of stories. You can tell a lot of things. Watch Arrow, watch The Flash. I love these shows. They're fucking great. Thanks for listening to the Hear Your podcast. Cheers.